Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mentoring Thursday. Hope you are well. Hope you've had a great week so far. Avia Guinea here, and I wanted to share about mindset shifts for success. So, I don't know what your goals were this year, what you set out to do in your music, in your family life, in your personal life, in whatever area of your life. I don't know what goals you wrote down at the start of the year, but are you on track? Are you on track? We are going to be going into June real soon, middle of the year. And I just wanted to just chat about mindset shifts that are really important to get you to where you need to be. Um, I have attended lots and lots of self development courses, um, coaching on growth, selling, marketing, lots and lots of skills that I'm trying to acquire and get good at. And one of the first things that they talk about is your mindset. So important. And it's really sad when you think about it, but your beliefs can either aid your success or limit you. Essentially, your success lies in your hands. And one of the first things that you need to fix is what you believe. Because if you don't believe you are good enough, if you don't believe that you deserve success, you're going to stop yourself from succeeding. You have to be truthful with yourself. You have to evaluate yourself. What do you really believe? So I have a journal coming out soon in the next week or so. So I'm going to be releasing this journal along with my next single. And the journal is titled Journal Your Way to Clarity. It's essentially a journal that you talk about your beliefs. You actually assess your beliefs and actually journal about it, and that can help you get clarity on if you truly believe these things. Because even if you say, oh, I want to be a successful musician, I want to do this, I want to do that, but truly you don't believe that you deserve it, you don't believe that you are good enough for it, you're going to self sabotage. And I think that's one of the first things people realize when they're trying to break through into success, break through into hitting these goals, break through into making the amount they want to make financially. That's one of the things they have to realize. One of the things they shift is their mindset. So how do you begin to work on your mindset? How do you begin to actually make all of these shifts? Well, at the end of last year, I had a challenge and I called it, it was about your vision. It was, what was it called? It was about planning for the year, and it was about having a great vision for the year. Oh, it was dream big. I cannot remember, guys. If you remember, please put it in the chat. And if you, I see a couple of people watching on Instagram and Facebook. Can you say hi? Tell me who's watching, so I know who's watching. But anyways, it was about our dreams and what we wanted to accomplish this year. And I remember on day one, I said, write out what, like, the excuses you give. So how much do you want to be to earn per month? What have you told yourself are your limitations towards hitting those goals? It could be personal goals. I remember people, they wrote a list of the excuses they had told themselves. And then we then wrote the truth that we should believe. Because if you say, I don't have time, it's actually not true, because we all have time. We all have 24 hours. It's your priorities that might be the problem. You're not prioritizing the right things. We all have time. If you put a 10-minute slot on your 24-hour calendar to do something, if it was important to you, you will do it. So the problem is not that you don't have time. The problem are your priorities. So we went down the list of some excuses people had given about whatever it was they had not been able to accomplish, maybe losing weight or getting a job or learning something new. And then we talked about the new truths that we needed to acquire and believe. And we wrote them down. And the plan was, you need to say these affirmations every single day. So the first way that you can start to make these mindset shifts is, first of all, to evaluate yourself, be truthful about yourself. Write down all of your excuses. What has stopped you so far from achieving what you wanted to achieve? What has stopped you so far? Write it down. And then write down the truth now, because if you say you don't have time, well, you do have time. You just need to change your priorities. It's brutal honesty you need. But you write it down and then you start to say these affirmations every single day. And I remember the first time I did this exercise, it was actually quite emotional. It was at business school last year. We had gone to spend 5 days being coached, and it was called Entrepreneurs Business School. And I remember we had all written it down, and then we had turned the paper in two: our beliefs, our limiting beliefs on one hand, and our truths, like what will keep us going, on the other hand. Thanks, Teresa. Says this is good teaching. Yes, it is. So he had told us to, first of all, read our affirmations, read them out loud. And then we had read it. Now he said, okay, now you're going to read it again. And I want you to read it like you believe it. I want you to read it like you mean it, begin to raise your voice, begin to talk like you believe it. Now, this is called states. Really, really important state. So anyways, we had been doing that. He said, no, you're going to read it again. You can read it like a minute. And then we were all reading it. And before we knew, some of us were crying. And before we knew, I was crying. There was this guy that was passing tissues around. It was so funny. But then he now also said, now I want you to fold the list of your limiting beliefs and begin to tear them up. And that was more of the floodgates open, because essentially we were saying, I'm done with this mindset. I'm done with this limiting beliefs. I'm moving away. I'm trashing it. I'm ripping it into shreds, and it was a powerful exercise. It was really powerful. But the important thing is that it actually takes you a while to adopt this new mindset and stick with it. Because the way we adopt winning mindsets is we might read the affirmation, we might think about it, we might hear a message that inspires us, we might hear a story of how someone did it, and we might begin to think, this is possible. Oh, okay, this is possible. I can do it. Yes, I can do it. But then the next day, we're like, I can't do it. And that's normal. That's actually normal. And then you might bounce back and forth, between I can do this No, I can't do this. I can do this. No, I can't do this. And what gets it to stick is the continued exercise of affirming yourself. Because as you keep affirming yourself and saying it like you mean it, saying it with all that you have within you, as you keep doing that, you stay longer and longer in that state till it finally sticks. So there was an exercise that someone once told me of how you can get into states very quickly. And states is essentially a state of the mind, right? State of the mind where you're like, come on, let's do this, where you're like, yes, let's go. That I can do mentality. Let's do it right now, and some people actually are able to do it instantly, where they're able to quickly get into the right state of mind to perform a task. And one of the ways you do this is with your body. So you see what I was doing about, come on, let's do this. If you tried to do that for a situation, you might have started out by saying, oh, I can't do this. I don't believe it. I can't. You want me to charge what for my course? You want me to charge £1,000 to clients? I've never even charged 500. What? I can't do that, But if I keep saying over and over, actually, no, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And then I'm like, start saying it. You need to say it like a minute. And then you begin to say, yes, I can do this. Yes. You are changing your physiology. You're actually doing something with your body. And doing that with your body can help you get into that right state of mind. You can cause a quick shift in your mind by doing something with your body. There was this strategy that I learned about how you could think of maybe the best day you ever had at work. Maybe a victory you had. You made a huge sale. You were so excited. You were so proud of yourself. You're like, yes, I can do this. I can do this, Think about that day. Close your eyes. Think about that day. Grab a hold of that feeling. Amplify it, amplify it, amplify it, amplify it. Really remember what it felt like. Maybe think about all that money that you earn. Think about the excitement, the possibilities, what you were going to do with it, right? And hold on to that feeling. And then you can do something like make a fist and squeeze your fist. You need to essentially do something to your body that you can easily do without people noticing that you're doing something odd. It could be maybe, I don't know, something on your hands, and then you're causing this sensory input. So, Teresa says, I can do this, yes. So you use that sensory input, right? And then you let go of the feeling. And then you think about that feeling again, over and over again. And then you do the sensory input again. So either squeezing your fingers or something that you can do really easily. And your brain begins to associate squeezing your fingers with that I can do state, that mindset of I can do it. So that means that if you're about to go into a sales call or into a sales meeting, it gets to a point where all you do is just squeeze your fingers together like this, and there's a switch that goes on in your brain that gets you in that right mindset. That yes, I can do this. I can nail this sales meeting. Very subtle. No one might know it. I remember when I went for my speaking course recently, one of the trainers kept saying, so he will give we will split into like maybe 5 groups, and then we will all take turns to talk on a topic that they had given us to practice our speaking. And every time before we got out there to talk, there will be like a maybe 10-second silence where he says, speakers get into state. And how you got into state was by having this either affirmations you said you told yourself in your head, or thinking about your first couple of lines, or just running briefly through what you were going to say. You know, there were things that you did, and it will be different for everyone. But that was what that meant. Speakers get into states. And I remember my way of getting into states was by singing my song in my head. Hear me roar. And every time I will literally just sing that line in my head. Hear me roar. And this fierceness will come over me like, I can do this. I've got this. I've got this. Hear me roar. I love that song. There's that line that says, all of creation awaits the manifestation of the sons of men. In other words, the world, creation around me knows that I am God's child. They are essentially waiting for me to ace it. They're waiting for me to, to do it. So if there is something for you that does it for you every single time, a word, a line, an affirmation that you can tell yourself and quickly it makes that switch. Happy handy. Happy handy. Happy handy. Say it to yourself over and over again. Remember it when you need to get into a state of doing something important. It could be when you wake up in the morning. How do you approach your day? How do you approach your day? You need to always step out in that mindset of, I've got this. This is my day. I can do this. I can do this, Hear me roar. What is that affirmation for you? What is that belief for you? So number 1, identify your limiting beliefs, because sadly, they will stop you from achieving your goals. Number 2, turn those limiting beliefs around into affirmations and begin to say those affirmations regularly. You might need to actually put reminders on your phone twice a day to say your affirmations. You could put your affirmations on your notes on your phone and then look at them and then silently say them to yourself. But actually, more importantly, at home, I don't want you to silently say it. I want you to say it out with all that you have. If possible, shout it out because something is happening on the inside when you do that. So affirmations are the key way to do this. I wrote something down. Strategies mean nothing until you have the right mindset to deploy it. In the same way, knowledge means nothing until you have the right mindset. So all that you have, you could have all of the advantage, all of the relationships, all so much more than other people have, and you still won't perceive how close you are to success because of your mindset. Act. This is a key one. Act as if you are already successful. Act like you have already hit your goals. What will that person do? How will that person function? How will they move? What sort of things will they do in their daily activities? Act like that. Begin to make decisions like you've already aced it. That will go a long way. Act from that place of abundance. So as as coaches or as leaders, which each of you are, if you are releasing music, you are leading your audience. You have that power. You have that power of influence over them. If you're a mom, you're a leader. If anyone looks up to you, you're a leader. One of the first ways that we lead is by leading ourselves. By leading ourselves. And we don't just say, I want to do this, or I'm planning on doing this. If you can have that state of mind and envision that you've already done it, how will that person begin to function like that? That will get you places. That will get you places. All right. So I need to go. I hope that I have been able to add value to you tonight, this evening. Whenever you're watching this, if you're watching a replay, can you put #replay and tell me a takeaway point? Tell me one takeaway, one aha moment that blessed you. I will see you same time next week. Have an amazing rest of your week. Till next week. Bye for now.